I believe, well, first I believe I should be dead.
So you got nothing to lose.
Zero. Okay? I have absolutely zero to lose. You know, I lived 4.5 years, almost 4.5 years in a lazy boy. Couldn't move 5 fucking feet. My blood pressure bottomed out at 57/45.
45.
45.
You were dead.
I was dead. You know, when I had my open heart surgery, I was in a after the surgery, they did the surgery when I was in a coma. I had a ventilator. I opened my chest. I got paddled 11 times during the surgery. I have a scar right here because the ventilator had my saliva.
Right.
And when they paddled me, it ended up burning.
Okay, conductive right through there. Yeah.
And you'll see me sometimes. I'll go like this, and that recenters me back to where.
Interesting.
I get so engaged that I'm going to overwhelm you with my will and my logic. You know, I get a little manic sometimes, right on the borderline, and then I go, okay, cool, I got it.
It centers you.
So I was 3.5 weeks in a coma, and I remember waking up. My wife Terry was sitting right there, and I said, "Hi, honey." And we talked a couple minutes. I said, "You got paper?" And I looked at the date, and it was 3.5 weeks of my life lost.
Gone.
And then
what does that feel like? I mean, you got that block. I mean, you're happy to be back, obviously. But
I'll tell you the whole story. I had the heart attack. I was playing in the Old Farts Basketball League in Coral Springs. EMS went to the wrong high school, which resulted in a significant portion of my heart muscle dying. Just died.
Hence the need for a transplant.
Yeah, that's what started my cardiomyopathy. Ischemic cardiomyopathy.
And what is ischemic?
It just means you have no chance to come back.
Okay.
It's bye-bye.
Right.
And I remember lying down on the court because my blood pressure went, Didn't have any pain, really. And I was getting ready to stand up. I drank some water, put a cold compost in my head, and one of my guys I play with.
And how old were you?
53. And a guy walks over. I was actually 52. No, 53. And the guy walks over to me, and I said, I gotta go home. I gotta go home. He says, you're not going anywhere. And he called EMS. And I said, call my wife. And he called my wife. And she got to the hospital. I lived in Lighthouse Point at that point. Really nice. 200.
Over by Jupiter?
Yeah, 200. I had on the intercoastal 200 feet. It was nice.
Yeah.
My boat, my tiara outside, all that kind of shit. It was very nice. We maintained a high level of poverty. And she got to the hospital, and I remember coming out of the back of the ambulance, saying hello to her, telling her not to worry. Our daughter, Shannon. And I remember getting into the emergency room. I remember a very bright light. I remember looking down at people's faces in the room. The angle was like this. I remember
boom.
And the next thing I remember was that I had regurgitated. And I smelled the bomb. And that's the last thing I remember.
Boom. Done.
Okay? When I woke up 3.5 weeks later, I had all these weird memories, they were, and I guess during this 3.5 weeks, they had to tie me down, they had to do tons of things, because of all the medications and stuff I was on. I was convinced they were harvesting my organs, Wow. At one point, I was below the floorboards of this old house in a little crawl space, and I couldn't get out. Another point, I was very high on the top of this castle. My wife Terry came, and I was in a wheelchair, and she wheeled me down this circular staircase out into the beach. It's really weird.
Wow.
Weird.
You have some really vivid.
Oh, very vivid.
Man.
I was unbelievable. Most of the stuff I hadn't told you. And then, then I woke up and Terry was there, and I spent another 2.5 weeks in ICU. And then they took me out and put me in a room, and the guy next to me, they're getting ready to put a pacemaker defibrillator into my chest. And the guy next to me had a pacemaker defibrillator. All of a sudden, his defibrillator's going off. They're screaming, everybody's screaming code blue, noise, cards.
Yeah.
I crawl out of the room. I crawl out of bed. I crawl down the hall of the hospital. Literally, crawl on the floor.
You're getting out of there.
Let's get out of there. Into the waiting area. And Terry's there. And I'm lying on the floor. It was unfucking believable. And then I got home. Terry was terrified. I mean, just think that today is the last day you make any money.
Mm-hmm.
How long would you last?
Not long.
How long would you
Not long. I got to keep going.
Yeah, I hit a wall. There was a day finite.
Mm-hmm.
I was with Shipley, who's the former CEO of Chase Davy Morgan. I was one of the first 25 people in the stock plan at the bank. And my buddy just retired.
And which bank?
It was Chemical, but it's now J.P. Morgan.
Right.
And Chemical was the acquirer. My buddy just retired. He got $267 million in stock. That's how much. He was a second round participant, not a first round participant. I walked away from $65 million worth of stock the day I quit the bank to go to handcuffs. Because money's important, but it's not. It shouldn't consume you.
Mm-hmm.
Life consumes you. Your family consumes you. Enjoyment should consume you, in my opinion.